Hayi sana suthi ungene endlini kaloku. Yhu kodwa Betty, you are so great. Sana ungumntu otheni lona ungahluthiyo? You're supposed to eat once a day, but you eat more than 2 times a day. Now you want me to feed you for the third time. For the fourth time, I mean. Betty, must I feed you now for the fourth time, you and sausage? Yeah. Hayi shem unyolukile. Why? Hayi awusambi. You awusambi ngathi ulidimoni. Hello, my sweet-doughnuts. Hello. Hello, my sweet-doughnuts. Welcome to my channel. Today, we are talking about my beautiful childhood. So please grab your popcorns, grab your oros. Please tell your grandmothers to camp and watch my channel. Call their grandmothers, call their grandmothers' friends, call your siblings, call your siblings' siblings, call your siblings' cousins, call your cousins, call your cousins' cousins, call their friends, call your aunts, call your uncles, call your everybody, guys. Tell everybody that the village girl with a PhD is about to talk about beautiful things, man. Beautiful things, you know? Yeah, call everyone, call your neighbors, call your boyfriends, call your husbands, call your husband's side chicks, call your boyfriends, call your boyfriend's side chicks, call everyone, man. Guys, welcome to my channel. We're gonna talk about my beautiful childhood that my mom and my dad raised me and my siblings in. The reason why I'm doing that is for you guys to know me even much better before my channel is extremely highly charged. You need to know about my background. That's the fair thing to do, hey. So we're gonna start, but before we start, let's honor my parents by this moment of silence. Remember, I told you guys I'm an orphan, so can we please give a moment of silence to my parents who made me to be who I am today, who made my siblings to be who they are today. So we're gonna sing, we're gonna remain quiet, moment of silence, whilst listening to this beautiful song, man. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. It's the village girl with a PhD here. Hello. Guys, why are you standing there? Why are you standing here, you two? Huh? Sausage and Betty, why are you standing here? Huh? These ones, they like my attention. Mommy is about to shoot a video, guys. Please. Ne? Say hello to my subscribers. Betty. Say hello to our mom's channel, guys. Guys, I think I must wear my jacket because it's gonna be very cold here. I'm sitting in one part of my garden. So yeah, we're gonna start. Wait, let me fix myself. So we're gonna start. Let's get to it, my angels. Let's get to it. Yeah. Let's first start with a moment of silence for my parents, and we listen to this song. kuhlala bendibuza awuba unothixo phina nabakuhlala bendibuza kuhlala bendibuza kuhlala bendibuza unothixo phina Dakucinga amaninzi, dakucinga amaninzi, dakucinga amaninzi abangasekhoyo. Zihlwele akuyo indlu ndisiyana ndisiyane zihlwele ndisiyane zihlwele ndisiyane zihlwele kuyo indlu yakho. Ndihlekwana alutshaba ndihlekwana lutshaba ndihlekwana lutshaba luthi unothixo phina. If my mom was sitting with me here in this garden, phezu kwala wheelchair yakho mama mngethe ngokwizandla. That's my mom. That was a prayer warrior. Igeza lengoma. Ilekese zikatata, my dad's queen. Ntombi yasemawusheni uzuke lihle umbethu unozinga uqubulahle umjongo. Continue resting in peace, mama. Let's get to it, my angels. Today, we are talking about my childhood. We are talking about my roots, my identity, Grab your own orange juice, my sweet angels. I was born and bred in a small town called Umtata, but I am not from that town. It is just that my parents were both working there. They had their careers in that town. Umtata is 80 kilometers away from my hometown, Idutwa. I was born and partially raised there. When I'm saying partially raised there, what I mean is, while I was still very young, we permanently relocated to my hometown. I was born at St. Mary's Hospital, a Roman Catholic hospital. I don't know what was my parents' obsession about Amaroma Catholic, because they also sent me for years to a Catholic boarding school, Ecwele, which I told you guys about in my first video, the Get to Know Me tag. And now, when it was mom's time to give birth and bring me to this world, again, they chose St. Mary's Private Hospital in Umtata. Isibhedlele Samaroma. When I'm looking down, guys, I have a piece of paper here. Today, I'm not using my tablet because the battery of it is low. But I will not show you my paper. So when I'm looking down, I'm looking at my points so that I am orderly, man, in this video. I am not all over the show. One of the principles, one of the values of this channel is it is order. We grew up in that town with my siblings, my brothers and my sister. Then in 1990, I was 7 years old. In 1990, I was born in 1983, so in 1990, I was 7 years old. That is when we relocated to Dutwa with my mom. My dad remained in Umtata, but was always with his family, us in Dutwa, every single weekend without fail. Mom relocated with us to Dutwa because in 1990, Mama moved to teach in a new school in our village, Mtawelanga Senior Secondary School. When my mom was in Umtata, she was a teacher in a primary school in Biki village. Biki is less than 25 kilometers out of Umtata. So mom got a promotion from being a primary school teacher, a standard 7 teacher, to being a grade 10 English teacher, as well as being a grade 12 biology teacher in my village, just a stone's throw from our home. When you are standing at the veranda of my home in the village at Sintukwini, you can literally see Mtawelanga Senior Secondary School. It's about less than 1 kilometer. I did sub A up until standard 1 in my village at Hlobo Junior Secondary School. Then after that, in 1992, our parents took us out of the village and sent us to various boarding schools. I was in the Mpondo land at Twele Catholic Mission School, boarding school. And my little sister was sent to New Horizon in Butterworth. In 1992, my parents started building a big shop within our homestead because if you are a villager, any person who was born in the rural areas, you know that land is limitless there. As long as you have a bottle of brandy, as long as you have 200 rands for the chief of the village, then you can get as much land as you want, depending on your own pocket when it comes to building on that land. So they built a shop, and Auntie Makolo Ngwele was teaching. And Auntie Makolo Ngwele was our helper at home. The Madliwa homestead, the Madliwa families executive. Auntie Makolo stayed with us from the day, actually I am exaggerating, from 5 days after my sister was born in 1986. So when the shop was built in 1992, Aunt Makolo was already a full Madliwa family member. So she also got promoted by my parents and was no longer a helper cleaning inside the house, but was selling at the shop. And then my parents employed a second helper at home called Auntie Nosandla Mabokela. May her beautiful soul rest in peace. So we had 2 helpers at home. Auntie Nosandla, who was cooking and cleaning, and then Auntie Makolo, who was full-time in the shop selling items to the villagers from my village and other surrounding villages. Whilst the shop was operating, my parents were both still in their full employment. They didn't resign. I am very assured that maybe they decided to build this shop so that it can serve as the generator of their second income, so that they give us the best future and the bright future. Dad used to leave work 4 o'clock in Umtata every Friday and drive to his family, to us and our mother in the village, and he would arrive round about 6:30 in the evening. And then every Monday morning when we wake up, Dad would have left already because he would be rushing to clock in at work at Sportnet, which is now called Transnet, at 8 o'clock. So when we wake up, me and my siblings, Dad would have been gone because Dad used to leave the homestead round about 5. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I'm sitting outside in my garden because it's quite hot inside, and also the lighting is not too good. Remember, I respect you guys. I love you guys. As much as I'm new in this YouTube channel thing, but I'm trying my utmost best to give you guys the best quality. So that's why I'm sitting outside, so that the video is not blurry. So that was the situation with my dad. And then, of course, when he takes leave, he will take 2 weeks leave or 3 weeks leave. Then he is full-time in the homestead with his queen, my mom, and us. In 1994, Dad resigned. We were very young. Remember, we wouldn't know why Dad resigned. Wait, guys, I want to sneeze. Sorry about that. There's so many trees in my yard, so my nose is reacting. I'm sorry about that. So in 1994, Dad resigned and took out his pension, and he was not 60 as yet. I think he was 55. If I'm correct. He took a few years early pension and decided to take his pension, and he also bought himself another car called Stallion, because he decided not to be full-time within the homestead. Full-time means he decided not to sit in the yard the whole day because he was gonna get old quickly and he was gonna be bored. No, he never said that, but me knowing my dad and being a go-getter, I know the reason why he decided to buy that, so that he can take villagers from my village and other villages to town. It was for passing time. So he bought Stallion. If you are from a village, you would know Stallion. There's a motor kutekiswa ngazo ezilalini. Kwakutekiswa ngazo ezilalini many months ago before kufike ibhoka. So and I also think it's because dad wanted to be more visible every day next to my mother in 1994. That's what I'm thinking. Above the other things that I've mentioned, I think he wanted to be next to his life partner, his wife, because 1994 is also a year when my elder brother Butpelela Madliwa suddenly and tragically passed away. Inkulu yabo. It was very painful. If he was so that's what I think is the reason that dad decided to resign and come and be with his family full time, and not only see us only on weekends and during his leave days. Makhulu also stayed with us. Makhulu was quite old. Umakhulu wam, my dad's mom, uMbanguba, intombi yakundabakazi eGcuwa, my grandfather's queen. My parents decided to take her from my dad's home, which is also a stone's throw down the village from our homestead. So my parents took her to come and stay with us full time, so that her daughter-in-law, my mom, can nurse her properly. She was in her early 90s. My grandmother passed away in 1995 at age 95. So you can imagine in 1994, how old was she? I am still continuing. Everything that I'm talking to you guys about, it is just a drop of the ocean regarding my childhood. My childhood, that's a very big a project. I would talk days and days if you guys were giving me the opportunity to do that. So what I'm giving you is just samples and samples here and there of my beautiful childhood that mom and dad created for us. I was Makulu's fave, hey? We were very close. Every holiday when I'm back from boarding school, I used to go to the backyard. That's when my parents have a very huge homestead. So there's two separate yards. So my grandmother was in the backyard. It's just less than 10 meters away from our main house. So she was staying there. So I used to leave the front house where we were staying with my parents and walk to my grandmother. That walk didn't even take me more than a minute. Ndandimrabha umakhulu. I was makhulu's nurse. Kaloku umuntu omdala, when a person is old, you know, guys, you can imagine at age 94. So umakhulu wayelala nge-rubbing staff, funeka erajiwe umqolo. I did that with ease. Umakhulu didn't even ask me to do it. I made sure that I did it because I loved my grandmother. That mother gave birth to my dad, the best dad that I know. When Makhulu passed on in 1995, I was in boarding school already. 2 years in boarding school, and she passed away in November, just after we wrote exams, and a week before schools closed. So Dad went to fetch me from boarding school because schools were closed, and Mom was left in the village because the funeral preparations for my grandmother's last farewell on planet Earth was underway. So my parents couldn't both leave the homestead because there were people coming in and out to support us during that dark hour. She left me with a trunk of money. Makhulu was getting income, grant, grant for the elders. And obviously Makhulu was not using even a single cent of her money because she's staying in her son's homestead. She's getting everything, all the nice goodies, all the expensive medications, and so on and so forth. So ebeliqanda likanyana wakhe nomolokazana wakumama. So you can imagine how much money was that, because the trunk, Makhulu had a trunk that has a padlock. So when my dad or my mom take her down to the primary school where udanke was being paid out by the SASSA officials, when they come back to the homestead, Makhulu would put all those notes into her trunk and locks her trunk and puts the string with the key of the trunk around her neck. The day Makhulu passed on, when I was at boarding school, she called my dad, gave my dad the key, and told the dad that, please, you and Noluntu is my mom's marriage name, you and Noluntu, my son, do not open this trunk. This trunk is for my granddaughter, Nokanya. But you know what happened, guys? That was a lot of money. I mean, we're talking 1994 here. I think that money was equivalent to what? To 8,000 if we're talking these days, because that money was almost 3,000. I remember very well, even though I don't remember the actual figure, but it was more than 2,500. So you can imagine. Mom took that money, but I don't have a problem. That's my mom, Yeah. I'm sure she also bought some few things for the funeral. Who knows? We grew up, me and my sister, being Daddy's little girls. Daddy made sure. Daddy spoiled us rotten. He even opened an account. As much as my parents were both 100% allergic to unnecessary debt. Actually, they were allergic to debt because they were buying their cars cash. They were buying their bikes cash. How our parents did it, guys, I have no clue. But one thing I know, my parents have never bought anything in Getyala. I know that for a fact. It's a fact. And those are the principles of financial management they strictly instilled in us. And obviously, there is no bond in the village as long as we have money for the bricks. And obviously, when the home was already up means when the home was already existing. We were not born. We were born after. So when we were brought to our homestead, The homestead was already huge and built. So obviously what they did before they gave birth, before they decided to make kids, they decided to first build a shelter for us, their kids. Well done, Mama. Well done, Tata in heaven. Well done, my parents. Today we are orphans, but we are in a very beautiful, comfortable homestead. One day, I'm gonna upload a video taking you guys on a tour of my home that our mom and dad built for me and my siblings. Mom, Mom was very stingy. Mom used to buy us clothes at Pep, Jumbo, but you know we didn't have a problem because our parents both loved us dearly. But Dad opened a BG account for us, specifically for us, the girls and the boys. So yeah, we were dressing nice, guys. We were dressing proper because we had a dad who took the image of his kids and his wife very seriously. He took the role of being a provider for our mom and us very seriously. I think that was Dad's main priority, even though he was not saying anything. You could see from his actions because we never lacked anything. I even remember my sister standing on a podium in the tent, full, packed to the tea, during our dad's funeral service in year 2016. I'm quoting my sister verbatim. She said, phambi kwalanginginya naphambi kwabefundisi bamabandla nebandla lamawisi lomzantsi omhle wase-Afrika. My sister said on top of my dad's casket, we never lacked anything ngenxa katata wethu nomama wethu. Dad was a champion. Dad made sure that he provided for us so consistently and so visibly so. Furthermore, she said, and I'm also quoting her again, she said, thina kuphila utata ethu besingatyi into esefrijini mntakabhuti. Sitya into esefrijini because sinyanzelwa ngoba that's the only available thing in the fridge. No, kuphila utata besingatyi into esefrijini bhuti. Noba utata usiqhelela igusha, ifreezer yakamama notata igcwele inyama egusha. Kodwa xa sirhalela uKentucky, utata made sure uKFC uyagaleleka emasangweni bantwaneni bakhe. And when people were listening to her, they knew that what she's saying is the truth because ekhaya kungasendleleni. The homestead is right on the main road. Apho utata behamba khona xa etekisi esuka kwenye ilali esiya eDutywa. So whilst he would be coming from town with istallion sakhe packed full with people that he would be taking to their various villages, he would stop there in front of the gate at home, there on the road, and call one of us and give us plastics full of goodies, even though he is just dropping the people and coming back to join us and our mother. Guys, that's the childhood that I'm trying to paint here, that I grew up in. Mom was a teacher. Besingabantwana bakamem ke bethuna. Niyamazi abantwana bakamiss. Abantwana bakamem. But when my mom was still a teacher, my mom's paid day was the 20th of each month. So, whilst we were still in the village before we were sent to boarding schools, get 20 siyayazi, we need to come back from school early. And then my mom would dress us very nice and takes amadrame parafini and puts them inside heaven. And then he would drive to town with me and my little sister. And that was a routine. Every 20th, we used to eat at Chicken Licken. There was Chicken Licken in my hometown early in the 90s, before Kentucky even came to my hometown. So mom used to take us to Chicken Licken and buy us something that I vividly remember without fail called It Taxi 2. It was this small orange box that is designed in a taxi. It was a taxi, actually. Very colorful, very nice. And it was written Taxi 2. And there was also a driver with passengers. So whoever drew that box where Chicken Licken was putting those 2 pieces with chips, that graphic designer, that marketing and branding guru, whoever you are, you have outdone yourself. That box was very attractive to an eye of a young child. Guys, me and my sister, we used to camp in our parents' bedroom after supper. When they moved from the lounge into their bedroom, me and my little sister would go there and lie on top of their bed on our stomachs while they are sitting on a couch next to their bed. The reason why I'm not talking about my brothers, you know, boys, guys, boys, they don't like to be mommy's boys. You know, most they like acting as big deals, you know, because what reason would you give me for them not to join us after supper in our parents' bedroom? They liked the acting like, yeah, we are the Madloa boys, even though they were not saying it. But they didn't like that obabuqanda man esasithithwa ngabo ngabazali bethu, because the love was just too much. The love was just too much. I'm sure my brothers, they didn't want to be loved by their friends in the village that, oh mama's boy, oh tata's boys. So they used to remain in the lounge and continue with their business and play their games. There were no PlayStations, guys, during our times in the village that I know of. I don't know when PlayStations were manufactured, but one thing I know, even if we would go to Umtata, we've never seen, me and my siblings, a PlayStation. So we used to play snakes and ladder. Mom used to buy me and my little sister teacups, teacups. Those pink things from Pepu, you pour water into the small pink kettle, and then there's matching cups that come with it. So mom used to buy us those toys, and boys used to play snakes and ladder, and obviously me and my sister would join them sometimes because we're very close, all of us. That's how we were raised, to have each other's back. The boys were raised to protect us as their sisters, and us were raised to respect our brothers. You know, we're not allowed to get out of the yard. We were not allowed to get out of the yard. When we were teenagers, my mom and dad bought us zinc. Uyalazi zinc, not not those zincs, man, that are like this. Not those ones. I don't know that shape. They bought us plain zincs. Zincs from big meters of zincs, amazinki from hardware in our hometown. And Mama asked one of the village tatas to come and build a school for us. So, which school, guys? A school where me and my sister, we must pretend as if we are teachers. Mom was a school teacher, I told you. So mom used to bring us chalks from her school, each chalkway. And now the zinc is plain most, so it's not curvy, with those waves. So it was plain. So, and mom painted that small house next to the fence in our yard. Inside, of course, I remember very well. Mom painted it royal blue with a colorful color. Wow, mom was very sweet. Dad was very sweet. So we used to play teacher stitch umoya ne sister yam. We when we were tired of sitting at the veranda with our parents, we would walk to our shack, which was our school. Not even a class, but that was our school, because my sister would be a teacher on the left-hand side of the shack, and I would be on the right-hand side. And then we would enter and say, "Hello, class. How are you? Are you well? Today we're gonna do A, B, C, and D." And all the time we're doing that, my parents would be at the veranda listening to us, feeling very proud of us. Guys, we were literally in jail, hey? I'm talking about us in our teenage years. Remember, I'm 3 years older than my sister. We did that pretense of being teachers up until we were 18 years old, and we stopped. We decided, no, no, we are old. We just stopped. We didn't want to do it anymore. And you can't say that to your parents, hey? You can't say that to my mother. But when my parents were asking us, "Bantwana mam, yeah, isikolo savalwa nangoku," then we will just keep quiet. So mom demolished that school that she built for us, so that we are teachers and not go out of our homestead and play. So when we're 18, and obviously early adults, so they demolished it. That was actually very kind of my parents. Thinking about it now, these days, that was such a great gesture, because it was very nice. Me and my sister, we would pretend to be teachers and be there next to that shack for almost the whole day. We will only go to our parents inside the house when we want to go and eat, when we are hungry. And then once we are full, then we go back and pretend to be teachers. Guess what? I just told you guys that my homestead is right on the main road. That road is connecting many villages. That's a main road that is connecting Dutywa with Ngamakwe. And all Ngamakwe villages, and in some of Aitutua villages. So you can imagine, even passing cars would open their windows, listening to Tatumadwa's little girls pretending to be teachers, and and even the villagers who were walking up the road or down the road, they would look at us and and greet us and pass. No wonder my home is being called these days a university. That's the name that the villagers gave my home. Akutshiwo umntu xa esuke town esithi uya ezintukwini uzokwehla ngakwaTata uMadliwa. No, they don't say that. Sorry driver, ndicela undihlise phambi kwase-university. I am sure it's because of what my parents were doing to us, because academic excellence and a passion for academics, a passion for education was instilled in us from as early as that age. And guess what? Do you think we're teaching in isiXhosa? No, we're teaching in English. No, we were still teaching our imaginary students, our imaginary pupils in English, because we wanted to impress our parents who were sitting few meters away from us at the homestead's veranda drinking their rooibos. And we were shouting, hey, good morning, kids, how are you? That is the background my mom and my dad created us in. Dad never bought us dolly that my mom was buying for us and ET sets. Dad used to buy us educational toys. I remember there is a truck Dad bought for us, a big truck like this that had partitions. You just flip the truck. So it's a picture. You see a picture of a strawberry. Then when you flip it, then you see the word behind it, strawberry. Then next to it, it's another small block. And then you can see a truck. Then when you flip it, you can actually see the word written truck. So it was a truck that had pictures as well as names of what is on the picture. I'm talking to you about my dad. That is actually where my love for academic excellence started. I saw and watched the vision that my parents had for us without saying it out loud. My parents were both very humble guys. Yes, mom was extroverted. Mom was extroverted but humble. Do you understand? Let me repeat that. Mom was extroverted, a bit loud, but very, very humble. Dad was very soft, calm. Otherwise, both of them were humble. Guys, hold on. Let's pause. There's kids. It's not even kids. It's the people who are doing people's gardens in our community. They are making noise. Let's pause. So, Dad was the ambassador for excellence, hey, for academic excellence. Dad and mom, but Dad took the trophy. Dad took the. Remember, mom is a teacher and is a mother, so you can imagine teacher. Dad wanted his kids to be A students, high academic performers. There is a newspaper that is still in existence in the Eastern Cape, even now, called Daily Dispatch. Dad was buying Daily Dispatch every single day without fail. If Dad is not going to go to town, he would stand there by the road and give the money to my uncle or any fellow villager who's driving to town to come back with his newspaper, Daily Dispatch. Dad was a chronic and avid reader. Do you think Dad would read the newspapers? Do you think Dad would read that news, that Daily Dispatch, and then packs it away? We were forced to read it. Dad would give it to me. When I'm done reading it, I must give it to my sister and my brothers and our mother. So, Dad made sure that that newspaper is read by everyone inside his household. Well done, Tata. Well done, Ndlovu zidle ekhaya ngokuswela umalusi mthungwa ngengesi malunga. Ndlovu ayisindwa ngumboko wayo, indlovu idla igoduka. Oh, well done, Tata. Thank you. Thank you for transferring that great skill to us. To love reading. Thank you, Tata. That was Dad's specialty. Making sure that his kids are brilliant. His kids are continuously reading. Do you understand? But Mom also had her specialities, guys. Mom was the chronic searcher of the best schools for her kids. Mom would take leave, half-day leave at school, and drive to East London and use a back route so that we don't see her passing the homestead, going to town without us. I know where mommy's little angels, me and my sister, and the boys actually. So Mom would use the back route to East London, to Queenstown, to wherever, going to ask for her children's admissions for the following year. That's my mother. She was a chronic researcher for great schools. Ezazikolo zababantu athi umama uWinnie singayisusa xa sithanda sanusigezela singayisusa xa sithanda sasikhe sayisusa mos mama was going for those schools and she and dad made sure that indeed we are enrolled in those schools, and we were. That was mom's speciality. Dad would just see mom coming in the evening, run up at 6. Nkosikazi, uzukabe na waphume esikolweni emini nje. Imoto yakho ndiyibonile pha iveni yakho ayikho ngoku ndidlulayo ndisabantu ebukhweni ngestallion. And my mom would say, bendiyofunela abantwana bethu umyenam isikolo, look, Dlovu. Our child is going to this school. This child is going to this school. That was my mom's speciality. Because, teachers speak in the boardrooms. Remember, some of the teachers were from East London, but teaching in my village. And some were from Queenstown, teaching in my village. So teachers speak in the staff room, And mom would get inside buggy and drives to that school. Remember, there were no phones in the 1980s. There were no cell phones. My parents didn't own any cell phones that time. So that's why mom had to put petrol in her buggy and drive to those schools and speak directly to the principals. Well done, mama. When we were going to boarding schools, you would swear that sizalwa zizinana. You would swear that these kids, they are from a filthy rich family. No, we were not. It's just that we had parents abancama yonke into who said we want the best for our kids. Because when they are taking us to boarding schools, utata would sit in the car with mama and say, my wife, mahlala apha nkosikazi, I don't want you to disturb my kids inside the supermarket. Then we would go inside the supermarket. Dad would say, my bantwana mam, thathani itroli ningene kwaSpark sedutywa nikhethe yonke into eniyifunayo. Then xa nisethilini omnye azondibiza apha emotweni. He would come out of his car to come and swipe his card, paying for umphako wase-boarding school wabantwana bakhe. See, picture my energy. My energy, guys. My energy. Ubuyibona pha etrolini. My trolley would be full to the hip. Some of the things, nice goodies, the biscuits would be falling. Actually, that's what mom used to say. Andizawungena lo nokhanye uyathanda ubaxa izinto. Nokhanye undwebile kaloku. And my dad would say, Nkosikazi kumafungwashe wam sesigabe ngasencwadi sikatata ezi. Kumafungwashe wam athathe yonke into ayifunayo. Azotya umntana emva kwekwancanca incwadi yakhe. Awumazi uba yi-A student le? That's my dad. Sikhula kuloo bhotolo. So dad would come and pay and then pack our things next to our suitcases in the car and drop us at various boarding schools. Or you'll find that today, my parents and my siblings are taking me to Twele or to Queenstown Girls High. And then the following day, my parents are taking the other siblings to their schools. Umama wayefeketha mos. Umama didn't like driving the other direction while dad is driving the other direction. My sister and my brother, they were in East London and I was in Queenstown first after Twele. So in theory, it would have worked. Mama gets inside his buggy, drives to Queenstown. Dad gets inside his buggy and drives to East London. But mom wanted to be also available during the dropouts. Obviously, they are best friends with her husband. They were inseparable. So and umama ndiyamazi wayefeketha nofeketha, you know, and ke umama ufuze mna undwebile, so wayefuna uba khona jonge ezinto zininzi utata asithengela zona nale pocket money ininzi utata asinika yona. That's our dearest mother. When we were in tertiary and we were graduating, now because we were studying very far away from home in a different province, Western Cape, so my parents couldn't both come. So they made a decision that dad would attend all my graduations and mom will attend all the other siblings' graduations. Guys, I was daddy's little girl. Guys, you know, parents, there's always that one child that gets an extra 1% of love. Dad loved all of us 100%, his kids. But there was that extra 1%. So I was loved 101. Even with my mother. My sister had that 1 extra percent when it comes to our mother. But guess what? Make no mistake, honey. We were equally loved by our parents because we're all on 100%, but there was also some 1 extra percent. And boys is boys. They were not going to get any extra percent. So when you see me, you see there is little girl. Let me put this tablet pen down. So yeah. So I am my dad's legal girl. And I am my mom's legal girl. Lollipop ka mama. This is Kebenga Sengwati Skatatam. Guys, you will not believe what I'm about to tell you. You know, Dad would go to town and do whatever he's going to town to do. He would never step inside our homestead without plastics full of nice goodies. Cakes, biscuits, chips, Kentucky, so many things, you know, nice goodies, guys. Zange utata wangena emasangweni omzi wakhe abantwana bakhe bekhona nonkosikazi wakhe empty handed. What is making me so emotional? Do you know what it is? Dad did that even though we were graduates. Even though we're graduates and also working. Dad, hello, Puti. I'm fine, Puti. How are you? I'm recording for my YouTube channel here. You are disturbing me. It's fine, neighbor. Thank you. You are so kind. As ever. Thank you so much, Puti. I'm sorry about that, guys. Remember, I was raised to love and respect people. So, and I'm outside, and my house is an open plan yard. So, open plan, there is no stop nonsense here. So, where was I before I was disturbed? Actually, hold on, guys. Let me go inside and use one of my ladies' room. So, utata bought us nice goodies, even when we're in our late 30s. That's my dad. Do you know what does that mean? That means that Dad took that role of being a provider and the head of the Madliwa household. very seriously. Wakambona phi ixhego lithengele ii-graduates ezine-masters degrees and so on and so forth. Into ezimandi singamakhwahla ana-30 already, 33, 34 and so on and so forth. But utata ebespoila ngosibadala. The only thing that stopped our dad from providing for us is the grave. When he closed his eyes, peacefully, after taking 3 deep, 3 breaths at Melomed Private Hospital in Cape Town. That's where I nursed my dad. That every time they get sick, I would drive down and fetch them so that I put them in the best of the best hospitals in the country, so that I connect them with the nurses and the doctors in hospital. So when Dad passed on in Gatesville, Melomed Private Hospital, Cape Town, that was the day Dad stopped providing for us. Because even when he was gravely sick, fighting lung cancer, stage 4 lung cancer, on that hospital bed, he would still be asking me and my siblings, "Nityile bantwana bam, kunini nikhempe apha ecankwebhedi yam bantwana bam?" Can you imagine a person busy fighting for his life, for his wife, for his kids? Kodwa uyagula, but he's still fighting. Uba abantwana bakhe batyile na? That's my dad. Ixhego. Tata uMadliwa. DS Madliwa. My mom's king. Iilekese zikamamam. That's my father. That's my mother. That's my background. That's my childhood, guys. We nursed them on those hospital beds. We gave them the best love that they deserve. They both passed away in peace. Even our mother passed away in peace. What stopped our mom from loving us and nurturing us and mentoring us, me and my siblings, is the day we closed her eyes on the hospital bed after a very long time of fighting diabetes, which at that stage affected her kidneys, and the kidneys shut down. She passed away peacefully as well. Lastly, and Leonard people, they say, last but not least. Others say, last but very importantly. After closing their eyes, then we gave them the most beautiful, dignified, stunning, decent farewells ever. We sent them to their final resting place with my siblings in that standard. Mom and Dad are peacefully resting. Mom and Dad balele ngoxolo right next to each other at Zintukwini village, just 10 minutes walk from their home. 10 minutes walk down to the village from their home. That's where the bones of the 2 champions are sleeping. The bones of the 2 champions are peacefully resting. Continue resting in peace, Mama. Continue resting in peace, Tata. You gave us the best inheritance in life, which is called education, which is called prayer. Dianibulela. You are doing a very good job in that heaven, Mama Notata. Thank you. Today we are motivating a black child using our own true stories. Please do not forget to look after your parents. They gave you the best background ever. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The village girl with the PhD must bounce. I have to get inside, guys. Tomorrow I need to be at work. Bye. Love you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. Ndiyanithanda kakhulu, my sweet donuts, my sweetest donuts in my donut basket. Ndiyanithanda kakhulu. Mwah!